Hello and welcome everyone. In this session, we'll explore how digital tools are reshaping the creative world of theater, from performance to production. Whether you're an actor preparing monologues, a director managing rehearsals, or a production manager coordinating cues, there's a digital tool that can streamline your process and strengthen collaboration. By the end of this short session, you'll be able to identify which platforms best support your role, understand how they might integrate with one another, and support you professionally every day. Over the next 15 minutes, I'll walk you through 3 areas: digital tools for actors, digital tools for directors, and finally, digital tools for stage and production managers. As you listen, I invite you to think about one small digital habit you could add to your own process. Not to change who you are as a theater maker, but to give yourself just a bit more clarity, control, and creative freedom. Let's begin with actors, the heart of storytelling on any stage. For a long time, all an actor really needed was a printed script and maybe a mirror or a partner to rehearse with. Today, you still need craft, intuition, and imagination, but you also benefit enormously from a layer of digital literacy that supports the craft rather than replaces it. Likely the first question that pops into every actor's mind is the monologue. So what do you do when you need a monologue? Because maybe an audition notice has gone up without any specific text provided, or maybe you're just looking to practice and stretch yourself with something new. We're fortunate that there are now many online resources where you can find both free and paid monologues. Platforms like Backstage host large libraries of material, and various theater publishers and dramatic licensing houses share sample monologues or short scenes online. Beyond those, you can browse the digital catalog of your local library, as many public libraries now provide ebook or drama text access through their websites or apps. The point here is, instead of being limited by what's on your own shelf, you can search by age, tone, genre, and character type and build a personalized monologue bank that truly fits you. Once you've chosen a piece, the next step is often a digital audition. Many auditions are now fully online, and even when you're in person, self-tapes are frequently requested as part of the process. The good news is that you don't need expensive equipment to get started. A modern smartphone, a simple tripod, or a stack of books, and decent lighting can take you a long way. When you set up, think about 3 things: stability, framing, and lighting. Place your phone or laptop on a stable surface or tripod so the image doesn't shake. Frame yourself about mid-chest, just above your head, so your facial expressions and upper body work are clearly visible. Whenever possible, use natural light. Face a window rather than having it behind you. If natural light isn't available, a basic ring light or lamp placed behind the camera can help. Remember that most phones today have surprisingly strong video capabilities, and much of what feels low quality actually comes from poor setup rather than the device itself. Once you've recorded a take you like, editing software allows you to refine it. There are many options ranging from completely free to professional level paid tools. Let's briefly touch on a few. iMovie is Apple's entry-level editor, available on Mac and iOS. It's designed for beginners. You can easily trim clips, add simple transitions, adjust brightness and contrast, and export in common formats, all through a very visual drag-and-drop interface. It's perfect if you want something straightforward and approachable. Adobe Premiere Pro is a more advanced subscription-based editor used widely in film and media industries. It offers very detailed control over timelines, color correction, audio mixing, and effects. Might be more than you need for a basic self-tape, but if you're interested in learning professional editing, it's a powerful option. Filmora sits somewhere between beginner and intermediate. It has a user-friendly interface with lots of templates and automatic features, but still offers fairly robust tools for trimming, audio adjustment, and color correction. It's good if you want more features than iMovie, but don't want to dive into fully professional software. Final Cut Pro is Apple's professional editing platform. It's used by many filmmakers and content creators for more complex projects. It offers magnetic timelines, fast rendering on Macs, and deep color and audio tools. Again, probably beyond what's strictly necessary for a self-tape, but excellent if you're serious about editing. CapCut began as a mobile editing app and has grown into a popular choice for quick social media style edits. It's free, works well on phones, and makes trimming, adding text, and basic color and sound tweaks very easy. If you're editing on your phone, this is a strong option. DaVinci Resolve is unique because its free version is extremely powerful. It started as a color grading tool and grew into a full editing suite, so it's especially strong in adjusting the look and feel of your footage. The free version is more than enough for most self-tapes needed, and it includes editing, color, audio, and delivery tools in one package. Let's stay with DaVinci Resolve for a moment, because it's a great example of how a simple tool can take you from raw recording to polished auditions. You can download the free version directly from the developer's website. Look for the download page, select your operating system, and choose the regular Resolve rather than the studio version. Once installed and opened, you'll see a project manager screen where you can create a new project, give it a name, perhaps monologue self-tape, and click to enter the main workspace. At the bottom of the Resolve interface, you'll see several tabs: Media, Cut, Edit, Fusion, Color, Fairlight, and Deliver. The Media tab is where you can import your video and audio files. You can drag your recorded clip from your computer into the media pool. The Cut and Edit tab are where you'll assemble and refine your timeline. Cut is optimized for quick, fast-paced editing, while Edit gives you a more detailed traditional timeline view. For a self-tape, you might simply drag your clip onto the timeline in the Edit tab, trim the beginning and end to remove the moments where you're walking into frame or hitting record, or maybe just cut out a false start. The Color tab is where Resolve really shines. Here you can adjust exposure, contrast, saturation, and the overall color temperature of your video. For audition, you don't need dramatic color effects. You can simply want a clear, natural look that makes you visible and accurate to life. A single increase in brightness or a minor adjustment to correct a color cast from indoor lighting can make your tape easier to watch without making it look artificial. The Fairlight tab is dedicated to audio. You can raise or lower your overall volume, reduce background noise if needed, and make sure your voice is clear and present. Again, the goal for a self-tape is clarity, not heavy processing. Finally, the Deliver tab is where you can export your finished audition. You can choose a preset, for example, a standard MP4 format, and set the file name and save location. Check if the casting notice specifies any format, file size, or labeling requirements, and follow those carefully. Also, always read all audition instructions closely. Some casting teams explicitly ask for no visual editing beyond basic trimming because they want to see an unaltered performance. Respecting those guidelines is part of your professionalism. If editing on a computer feels like a barrier, remember you can do a simple edit directly on your phone. Most phone gallery apps allow you to trim the start and end of a clip, adjust brightness and contrast, and sometimes even crop the frame slightly. Apps like CapCut or other mobile editors then add the option to tweak color and sound a bit more, all without leaving your device. Now, once you've secured a role, or even before that when you're working on new material, digital tools can support character development and line memorization. Scriptation is an app designed specifically for working with scripts. You can import a PDF of your script, annotate it directly, highlight lines, add notes about objectives, beats, and blocking, and have those annotations sync across devices. If your script gets updated, Scriptation can intellectually transfer your notes onto the new draft, saving you from remarking everything. This is particularly helpful in rehearsal processes where pages change frequently. Offbook focuses more on line learning. It typically allows you to import or enter your script, then uses tools like reading your cues aloud, testing you with gaps in the text, or letting you record and play back your own voice to refine memorization. The idea is to give you structured, repeatable ways to move lines from the page into your body and voice. Together, tools like Scriptation and Offbook let you rehearse with more clarity. You can mark emotional beats, track your blocking, and systematically work on lines, all in a way that lives on your phone or tablet or computer. Imagine highlighting a key line on your tablet during rehearsal, and your director seeing that updated note when they open the shared script on their laptop. That's a new level of coordination between actor and director that simply wasn't possible with a single paper copy. Now, let's shift the perspective and talk about directors. Directors act as bridges between imagination and reality, between text and performance, and between different teams on a production. Digital tools can make that bridge more visible, more organized, and more collaborative. A director's digital journey often begins even before rehearsals, at casting. Finding performers can involve a mix of traditional and digital outreach. You might still post audition notices in local newspapers, on community boards, or via radio announcements, but social media and online platforms drastically help extend your reach. You can advertise auditions through Facebook events or post, Instagram stories, and reels, targeted ads on platforms like Facebook or Google, and post in local theater or community groups. These channels let you target specific regions, age groups, or interest areas. They also allow audition notices to be shared and reshared quickly, increasing your chances of finding the right person. When you're ready to manage audition logistics, digital forms are invaluable. Tools like Google Forms or other survey platforms let you create a simple audition form where actors can submit their contact details, headshots, resume, and even links to self-tapes. The responses are automatically organized into a spreadsheet, which you can then sort by role, age range, or availability. This reduces paperwork and makes it much easier to track who's coming in and when. Once you've casted, you move into the creative and organizational heart of directing. Here, visual collaboration tools come into play. Miro and Figma can function like expansive shared whiteboards. In Miro, you can create a board for your production where you can pin mood images, color palettes, snippets of text, and photos of the cast members. You can create a rough map of these scenes, sketch blocking ideas, or lay out the emotional arc of the play as a visual timeline. Figma, though often used for interface and graphic design, can serve a similar function. You can create frames for each scene, drag in images, annotate with notes, and share that with your team. Figma is particularly useful when you want to communicate staging or visual ideas that involve multiple layers. You can create a stage frame and place character icons or shapes on it, duplicating that frame to show different blocking options. Directors can add arrows, color-coded notes, and comments to discuss movement and composition. Because these boards are online, designers, stage managers, and even performers can view them from anywhere. Notion and Trello offer a more structured project management aspect. Trello uses boards, lists, and cards to track tasks. You might have lists for pre-production, rehearsals, technical preparations, and marketing, with cards representing tasks that move from to do, to in progress, to done. Notion can integrate notes, calendars, databases, and documents. For a director, it can serve as a central hub where you store production notes, rehearsal schedules, contact lists, and links to shared files. Speaking of shared files, Google Drive and Dropbox give you a central place to store scripts, rehearsal reports, design images, and recordings. Directors can create a folder structure, perhaps one folder for scripts, one for design references, and one for rehearsal notes, one for media, and share appropriate access with the team. Google Docs, in particular, is powerful for script work. You can upload or create a scripted document and use comments and suggestions to give feedback line by line. Writers and directors can work together in real time, clarifying cuts, adjustments, or rewrites without endless email chains. For rehearsal feedback, a director might keep a running Google Doc for each actor or each scene, noting discoveries, questions, and adjustments. After each rehearsal, you can quickly type in a few targeted observations and share or discuss them at the next session. This creates an ongoing, transparent record of the rehearsal journey. For meetings and rehearsals when your team is geographically spread out, video conferencing platforms like Zoom, Google Meets, and Microsoft Teams become essential. These platforms allow you to hold production meetings, table reads, and even certain rehearsal activities remotely. For directors, the ability to see everyone's face, share your screen to show a mirror board or script, and use breakout rooms to split actors into small groups can keep the collaborative spirit alive even at a distance. Zoom breakout rooms, for example, are excellent for simultaneous scene work. You might put each pair or small group into its own room for 10 minutes to work on a section of the text, then bring back everyone together to share and discuss. Google Meet and Teams offer similar functionality with integrated chat and file sharing features. All these tools help the director hold and communicate the aesthetic and organizational vision of the production. When your concept images, rehearsal schedule notes, and casting information live in a shared digital space, everyone, from set designers to lighting technicians, can see and respond to the same evolving picture before anyone steps into the physical rehearsal room. Finally, let's turn to stage and production management, the people who quietly keep the entire operation from slipping off the rails. If actors and directors are visible at the center of the process, stage and production managers are the backbone, ensuring the right people, props, and cues appear at the right time. Digital tools are especially powerful here because so much of this work is about coordination, consistency, and communication. Think of these tools as your digital binder. Where a traditional stage manager might have once carried around a bulging 3-ring binder filled with call sheets, contact lists, prop inventories, and cue sheets, today many of those elements can live in an organized, searchable digital system. There are platforms built specifically for theater and live event management. Theatron, for instance, focuses on organizing productions, schedules, and resources in a way tailored to performing arts venues. Production Pro is designed to centralize creative assets, scripts, storyboards, choreography notes, and designs so that performers and crew always have access to the latest version of materials. Prepared emphasizes scheduling and logistics, allowing managers to build, share, and adjust schedules and itineraries to communicate changes quickly to teams. StageRight is a tool that allows stage managers and choreographers to document blocking and staging in a visual way. It can also map where each performer is on stage at any moment, track patterns over time, and export clean versions for reference. Cue points and similar cue tracking tools help you organize lighting, sound, and automation cues, giving you timestamps, labels, and notes in one place. For general purposes, tools like Notion also work extremely well for stage and production management. In Notion, you might build databases for props, costumes, contact information, and rehearsal reports. Each database can be linked and cross-referenced so that, for instance, a prop entry can link to a specific scene, notes on its condition, and the crew member's responsibility. The advantage of these digital systems is that they update for everyone at once. If the rehearsal time shifts, the stage manager can adjust the digital schedule and instantly notify cast and crew. If a prop is added or removed, the prop list updates without needing to reprint pages. If there's a change to a cue in a script, it can be reflected across the cue sheet and the digital calling script. When digital planning is done well, it ensures consistency and reduces confusion. Lighting technicians, sound operators, stagehands, directors, and designers can all access the same central information from wherever they are. This is particularly important in large productions or in contexts where people are joining remotely or on different schedules. Throughout all of this, it's important to remember that digital literacy does not replace artistry, it amplifies it. Actors still need to act, directors still need to shape story and performance, and stage managers will need to exercise judgment, calm, and leadership. During these tools, it can be helpful to experiment with combinations. An actor might annotate a script in scriptation. A director might pull those images or notes into a Miro board. A stage manager might reference both in a digital rehearsal report. Maybe a director records a rehearsal on Zoom, shares it through Google Drive, and asks actors to add written reflections before the next session. These connections are where digital tools become more than isolated apps and start to behave like a cohesive support system for your creative work. Also keep in mind that these tools we've discussed are only a sample of what's available. New platforms and apps appear every year. Some will be perfect for your team, others won't fit to your style, your budget, or your technical comfort level. It's completely fine to adopt tools slowly. Start with one that solves a real problem you have right now, maybe scheduling, maybe script annotation, maybe self-taping, and build from there. You will need to invest a bit of time in learning and integrating any new tool. That setup time can feel frustrating at first, especially when you are already so busy. But viewed over the course of an entire rehearsal process or season, that investment often pays off in a smoother communication, fewer mistakes, and more time left for genuine creative exploration. As you experiment, keep returning to your core values as a theater maker. Ask yourself, does this tool help me tell the story more clearly? Does it free up energy so I can focus on the work in the room? Does it include my collaborators rather than excluding them? If the answer is yes, then technology is doing its job. And finally, remember that theater itself is not being replaced. Nothing can substitute for the feeling of bodies in space, live breath, and shared attention between performers and the audience. These digital tools simply offer new ways to get to that moment, to prepare for it, and to extend its impact. In our next video, we'll move further behind the curtain and look at how designers in costume, sound, lighting, and set use digital tools and platforms to visualize, experiment with, and communicate their artistry.